Hey Insiders, we've got a very special guest joining us here today who's recently just graduated from our flagship course LMA, which is the Life Mastery Achievers, and she's so graciously going to be coming on here today to share her experience from start to finish and everything else in between. And I guess before we dive in here today, would you mind telling everybody what's your name and where you're currently based in the world?
My name is Elise Hafer, and I'm from Sibley, Illinois, little Midwest town in Illinois. Yeah, yeah,
Elise,
yeah.
thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you so much for giving us some of your time here today to chat all things LMA. But before we dive into it, I'm just curious to know what would you say was the biggest struggle or challenge you were facing in your life prior to joining the LMA program?
Okay. So at the time that I came across LMA, um, I had my husband had passed away in 21, Liam, and I put myself in counseling about 6 months after thinking, and I'm a nurse, thinking I should probably do something to bring me forward through this. So
Wow.
I was doing that for a while and was challenged to change my thinking. And I was looking actually for retreats online, like some time away from home, just to kind of focus. And I saw Tim's video and clicked on it, and then kind of started down that track. That's really how it happened. I was looking for retreats and found LMA. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. And
home
these,
retreat.
there we go. And these challenges that were showing up, like you just shared, you just had lost your husband as well. And obviously you were going through this challenging time. How was this impacting your life on a day-to-day basis? What was it making you feel like? How were you showing up on a day-to-day basis back then?
With my husband being gone, Liam, is that the question? Or with
Yeah, just in general, obviously with all of those emotions that you were feeling and those that place that you were in before LMA, how was this impacting your life?
so the other part of that story is, so my husband was gone about a year, maybe a little more. My best friend, I trust with my life, introduced me to a friend of hers that because I needed a tax preparer. That's a true story. So um yeah, so I entered a relationship with this person about in April last year.
Mhm.
That uh, I would say dissolved on maybe good terms mostly, but
Mhm.
it brought me back to a very real grief,
Mm.
grief. And so I was trying to buy
Wow.
all of that, and thought, oh yeah, oh yeah. And I mean, I would never not trust my best friend,
Yeah.
but as relationships go, you spend enough time together, then you know each other.
Yeah.
And so I kind of was going through that, and I got to this place where, I'm a nurse, and I've always loved my job, and I've always loved what I did. And all of a sudden, nothing was making sense. Nothing was clicking. Nothing was making sense.
Mm.
And then I thought I just need to do something to get
Wow.
away from home work.
Yeah.
And so I was honestly searching for retreats. I was searching for just something that I could get away, go away,
Yeah.
certain period of time, and that's how I found LMA. I mean,
And
that's what I
whenever
did.
and whenever you found LMA, then did you have any concerns that may have prevented you from enrolling? Like, did you think, what am I getting myself into, or what is this? Am I, did you have any skepticism around LMA? And if so, how did you put it to one side and step on board and embark this journey with us?
Yeah. Oh yeah, skepticism, but when Tim named it himself, he said, you found this British Asian guy on on the channel. And I thought, I think he kind of gets it. We're out here and we're kind of searching, and then he's just kind of putting it out there. And really, he was real. He was just
Yeah.
real. I thought, yeah, and I knew that from his talk and experiences, he didn't just put it out there. He came from what he built.
Mm.
He came from
Beautiful.
what he built. Yeah, and it was very heir apparent, and it wasn't difficult to connect. And so I really thought it could be the next calling. It could be the
Wow.
next thing.
Wow.
So that's
And
kind of when
and
I joined. Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah, took that leap, as you
And
would say. But
for you then, what made the LMA course a good fit for you? Why was it good for you at this point in your life now, Elise?
Well, because I was challenged by my own counselor to change my thinking. And I was struggling and struggling, like, how do you change your thinking?
Mm-hmm.
And then Tim brought up the idea about the, BS, the belief system.
Mm-hmm.
And it gets you thinking, I would say almost in a primitive way about how your brain functions and how you're not even aware. And being a nurse, I thought, there might be some truth in this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just kept listening and kept listening, and yeah,
Wonderful.
I just, yeah, it he sold me, but I think my own, medical knowledge, thinking this is based on a lot of fact. It's
Wow.
not just, yeah. So anyway, yes,
And,
yes,
and
yeah.
what would you say surprised you the most or made you the most happiest about the experience of the LMA program?
The happiest. Oh
Mm.
my gosh, the happiest. Well, Well, the happiest moment was when you came on and you got us all up there. Oh my, we were all like dancing and everything. And I thought, I can do this from home. I can tap in this community and I can just, yeah, I mean, that was one of the happiest moments. But there's a difference between happy and joy. I
Mm.
mean, there's happy moments, but then there's those moments where you experience something that's right, so giving and enlivening, that you've tapped into something very deep, and
Beautiful.
and I felt that. I think I
Beautiful.
felt that. Yeah, I think
And for
that's what
you, and for you
we're.
now, at least, like, what would you say is the biggest benefit that you've experienced from the program compared to the version of you that was here before LMA? What would you say is the biggest benefit that you've personally taken away from this?
I think two things. I get up in the morning and my mind is reminded of what I'm learning in LMA. I mean, you listen to it and it feeds you in a way that is life-giving and very positive, and makes you, no, gives you hope. The
Mm.
second thing is the community of people. Now, when I read their stories, Liam, I'm sure we all have experienced this. You tap into there and you think, I'm not crazy,
Yeah,
right? There's like all these, there's other people that have gone through this. They have stories. They are, yeah. It's very real. That's the thing. You go into this whole internet thing, and you quite, is this real? But then you get with the people and you realize it kind of
it
is.
is.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And last
Thank
but
you.
not least here today, at least, like, what advice would you give to someone who's maybe sitting on the fence about joining LMA? They want to change their life, they want that transformation, they maybe want to change their belief system. What would you say to those people who are listening right now about the LMA program?
So I recently signed up for SMA, and I was given that free thing to give, I think maybe an event or something to somebody else at LMA. So this weekend I went up to see my daughter, and we were with a circle of people, and I was talking to them, and all of a sudden I was talking to this gal, and I thought, I want to give her my LMA event, because this is somebody I could see, benefiting from the whole thing of LMA. And I say that because I thought, well, what am I going to do with that? Who am I going to invite to this? But I think the benefit going forward is, I think, to pay it forward. I mean, if you get any benefit at all, you kind of got to bring it forward. You have to kind of bring it forward. But anyway, yep. Thank you. Thank you for your 10 minutes.
Beautiful. 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 Wonderful. I'm just
Anyway.
gonna pause